I'm going to tell you a few things about myself because a lot of you probably don't know me. I'm not a New Yorker. My home's in Peoria, Illinois. And I'm from an average type family, 11 kids. No mother and father, just kids. When I was young, I used to think my people didn't like me because they used to send me to the store for bread, and then they'd move. I noticed when I was young, like, my people, if they didn't want to holler at you, they'd make a funny move with their body. You ever had your parents do this? If you're doing something wrong, they'd look at you and go. You know what I mean? And I had a wild neighborhood, I got to tell you, because my mother's Puerto Rican and my father's Negro, and we lived in a real big Jewish tenement building in an Italian neighborhood. Every time I go outside, the kids say, "Get him, he's all of them." But I like New York. I live here. I'm a bachelor. I got my apartment. I find bachelors have a lot of hang-ups, like preparing your own food. You ever fix coffee? You get the coffee can down off the cabinet, right? Take the key off the top of the can. You put on that little doohickey. You know what you bleed from, right? Turn it halfway around the can, it breaks off, right? You got to get a spoon. You dig in there with a spoon, raise up just enough, stick your hand in there, cut your fingers, right? And guys only know one way to open a can of evaporated milk. Set the milk on the table, put a butcher knife on top of the can, slam down, the can goes sailing through the kitchen. Put the can back on the table, put a butcher knife on top, slam down, the can rolls over, a knife sticks in the table and you hurt your hand. Then you get real mad. You grab that can, hold it tightly between your knees, put the butcher knife on top of the can, slam down as hard as you can, and you stand there and cry. Thank you. I like New York City. I've been working in the village in coffee houses. And I like it because they don't serve any booze, just coffee, ice cream, weird pills. And I get a kick out of the tourists ride the buses. You ever see them? They ride, "Look at the beatniks. Oh, look at them up there. A whole bunch of them." No beatniks in the village. All the weirdos riding buses. Look at beatniks. Look at them up there. Wait, I got some more to tell you. New York City, I found out you can't get a cab in New York City, right? Especially when it rains. All the cabs are owned by one company, off duty. Right? Huh? If you're lucky enough to get a cab, you get in and say, "Driver, I want to go to 78th Street. Driver says, "I'm not going that way." What do you mean? I want to go to 78th Street. You're going to give me a tip? I'm going to tip your cab over. You don't take me to 78th Street. And I hate to take the subway because the first thing you see when you walk down the subway, some guy down there, "Give me a nickel." Nothing works in the subway, right? Candy machine doesn't work, Coke machine doesn't work. Not the subway's fault, but it don't work. You ever drop a dime in a Coke machine, your Coke come pouring out, no cup? Wait, I got more to tell you. You got to watch when you ride the subway, because once I was riding the subway, I caught a guy with his hand in my pocket. I said, "Man, what you doing with your hand in my pocket?" "Looking for change." You got to watch the pickpockets. They slick. See, they bump into you, say, "Excuse me." Take everything but your pants. Give a little elbow in the teeth. Pow! Like that. I was on the train riding. Somebody bumped into me, said, "Excuse me." I said, "Pow!" Turned around, woman 80 years old. Wow, man, right? And no matter how packed it is on the train, when a drunk gets on, he gets a seat. Right? He gets on, people move, he lays down, goes to sleep. They got the weirdest advertising on the trains. They got things like, "If you want to know how to speed write, read the sentence below." And they have a sentence all chopped up in speed writing, reads like, "Splick, flick, 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 splick, underneath that, they say, "If you can read that without difficulty, you have a speech defect." I watch a lot of advertising. Okay. Got a little more. I watch a lot of advertising on television, commercials. Really funny, like the woman, "Honey, I got a giant in my washer." Yeah, well, they better be gone by the time I get home. You ever see that unrehearsed laundry test they do, right?
"Miss Jones didn't know we had our cameras hidden when she brought in her husband's dirty laundry. Miss Jones, what do you think of our wash day detergent?"
"I like it, I love it. I use it all the time. I brush my teeth with it, I wash my hair with it. Send a check." My favorite commercial, I got to tell you, my favorite is the kid in bed and they get real dramatic, right? And they play it up real big. The kid's laying in bed, 9:15. Tommy Jones can't sleep. And they cut to Tommy Jones. Tommy, I can't breathe. His mom comes rushing in. Good, it's working.
Thank you. In doing a little research on movie, I had to watch a lot of prime-time television, a lot of daytime television, and I found watching Laurel and Hardy at nighttime is a lot different than watching Laurel and Hardy during the afternoon. The main problem is that at night, you only see them as a team. During the afternoon, they're two-thirds of a team. There's Stan and Ollie, and there's Uncle Freddie. This is kind of a stereotype of all kiddie shows across the country. It's called the Uncle Freddie Show, and usually a grown man will walk out with a beanie of some kind, like this on, and if he were anywhere else but a television studio, they would, put him away for a couple of years. Apparently there's something permissive about it in the television. Anyway, he comes out and he talks to the kids before the show goes on. He comes out like this.
Well, boys and girls, today is Thursday. And what do we always do on Thursday, boys and girls? All together, boys and girls. Come on, boys and girls. What do we always do on Thursday, boys and girls? You don't know what we do on Thursday, do you, boys and girls?
Where do you get the kids?
Thursday's mailbag day, boys and girls. Remember that? Sure you do, boys and girls. Before we get into the mailbag, boys and girls, I have two announcements I have to make. First of all, as you know, usually on Thursday, in addition to the Laurel and Hardy films, we usually show the Three Stooges cartoons. But they've been trying to hold Uncle Freddie up on price, boys and girls. And so we won't be showing the Three Stooges cartoons anymore, boys and girls. But Uncle Freddie has bought another cartoon show, which you boys and girls will enjoy very much. It's called the Army Training Films. We're going to be showing them. And the title of our cartoon today, boys and girls, is Frostbite. So that sounds like a real film. I have one other announcement. A lot of boys and girls have written about the $27 decoding ring. That box, once again, boys and girls, is box number 507. Remember that. Apparently, one little boy wrote in a letter, and he said instead of the decoding ring, he got back some pictures of older girls in sort of bathing suits. That was a slip-up in Uncle Freddie's office. That's a little service Uncle Freddie runs for some of the older boys and girls. Anyway, boys and girls, just signify the decoding ring, and we won't have that problem. Okay, boys and girls, now let's get ready for the Laurel and Hardy cartoon, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, boys and girls.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it felt like 2 tons.
Boy, I bet that smart's done.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Boy, they'll be blue tomorrow.
You know where the coffee is?
Do I know where the coffee is?
Yeah.
Yep.
So wait a minute. I want to know where it is.
Well, I figured you was testing me or something, wondering whether I knew or not.
But why would I care if you knew?
Well, I don't know. I thought maybe he was one of them fellows making a survey.
Look, just tell me where the coffee is, will you?
That's on counter 7.
Oh, counter 7.
Yeah.
Is that over this way?
Yeah, I'll tell you what you do now. I'll tell you. See, you go down this way here, see?
Yeah.
Then you come up around that aisle there.
Uh-huh.
Then you come down around here and make a hard right. Hi, Sonny. Then you shoot around in here, see? And watch out for the fat lady and make a big turn to sweep and come right back and here it is.
The coffee's here.
Yeah. You see, I thought maybe you wanted to go down this way, though.
Oh, yeah, no, never mind. Have you got Excelsior coffee?
Yeah, we got Excelsior.
Yeah.
What kind?
I said Excelsior.
Oh, there's all kinds. There's regular, drip, Silex, whole bean.
Look, how do I know? My wife makes the coffee.
Oh, I see. Well, when she makes it, what you make it in?
In a nightgown.
No offense. Well, when she's making it in her nightgown, does she have a pot?
What kind of a crack is that?
No offense. I didn't mean to bother you or nothing. No. Well, when she's making this coffee and everything, there's regular, and there's drip.
Yeah.
And when it drips, it goes.
Yeah. Okay, no, never mind. I'll just take
Wait a minute. I tell you, maybe she boils it in one of them big glass containers. Yeah. Maybe it goes.
No. Look, it's all right. I'll just
wait a minute. I know how she does it. I'll bet she uses the percolator. There it goes.
Yeah. Well, no. Look, that's all right. I'll just take this.
Wait a minute. Tell me. What does she make it in?
She just pours the water in a cup and it goes.
Oh, instant coffee. Is this it?
Give me that thing.
Wait a minute. Hey, listen, would you like to have some tea?
No tea.
The reason I say that is because I heard a fellow on the radio this morning, and he says, try some tea. It's brisk. B-R-I-S-K. Brisk. Right, Tony? Seems like old times being here with you.
Do I look like I'm going to fall over? I am, believe me. Thank you very much. I just want to tell you I'm very thrilled to be back here once again for Frigidaire. To grab a little of that quick frozen money. I want to say that it's a great thrill to get back on television. This is my third. I've had 3 shots on television. Fortunately, they all missed me, but I must say I'm getting used to this racket. I'm beginning to like it. I mean it. With the camera angles and the makeup, the lighting, and all the technique. It's something. You know, it takes time. After all, Faye Emerson wasn't built in a day. And it's really great. And while I've been away, they've brought in this new thing, this new wrinkled colored television. Oh, that's really going to be something. Now, when you're squinting at your television set, you can go blind in 6 delicious flavors. Colored television is really going to be all right, though. You can have your present set adapted for only $3,000. For $4,000, Grandma Moses will come over and paint the screen for you. But it's a great thrill to be back here once again, ladies and gentlemen, in New York. I've got a nice room here. I'm staying at City Hall. Nobody else does, but I want to tell you, it hasn't changed a bit. It really hasn't changed a bit, New York, with the tall buildings and the short-changing waiters. Last night I fell asleep in the Times Square subway, fell asleep there, and somebody lowered a wad of gum through the grating and stole my bridge work. It's the same old New York. And they tell me, a lot of people tell me that when a big star comes to New York, they're besieged by autograph hounds. That's what they tell me. Well, kid came up to me this afternoon and asked me for my autograph. I gave it to him, and he slapped my face because I wasn't Hopalong Cassidy. There's a man that's really doing it. Oh, is he grabbing the loot? Old Hopalong. They've got, he's selling everything. They even have Hopalong bed sheets now to get the kids to bed. That's right. Oh, he's the Bank of America with saddlebags. And you can't imagine the influence that these Western pictures and everything have had on our children today. Believe me, now when a kid wants to leave the classroom in school, he doesn't raise his hand anymore. He just saunters up to the teacher and he says, I reckon as how I got a hankering to visit the old corral. You know, I'm very thrilled to be back once again for Frigidaire, and especially this week I'm indebted to these people for inviting our whole troupe of entertainers that made the trip from Honolulu to Guam to Okinawa to Japan, Korea, Alaska, and back. 25,000 miles, and I love the Frigidaire people for allowing our whole troupe to appear here tonight, and especially with this type audience. We're sort of observing Military Week here. We have
a GI audience here with all servicemen. I think it's the first time in a television show. Don't throw the camera on them. They may be AWOL, but I want to tell you. I could see the look on your faces. No, but I want to say that we had a wonderful trip, and all the people are here with us. You know, and I want to tell you a little about the trip because it was great fun. You know, you just don't start on one of these trips. You have to arrange for it. For instance, I went to Washington to the Pentagon building. Pentagon building, that's Bellevue with a revolving door, and I walked in. I walked into General Vandenberg's office, and I said, look, I'm ready to go. He said, that's obvious. Digger Odell is 2 doors down. I said, no, I want to fly to Korea. He said, oh, do you want a plane? I said, that's the only way I fly. I don't smoke anything stronger than Chesterfield. So he said, well, maybe I can arrange it. There's a lot of red tape connected with getting a person out of the country, but in your case, I think it is worth it. And he said, you'll have to go across the street and get your shots. But he warned me that a lot of people might faint afterwards. But I fooled him. I fainted going across the street. And the shots that they gave us yellow fever shots. They're great. They're real great. You get a fever and you turn yellow right away. I turned a deep brown because I was a little yellow to start with. But no, please. No, who cued that? Who cued that? But after my physical, they gave me the same classification as I had in the last war. Chicken, first class.
You remember last November when those contaminated cranberries were for sale? Well, yes, memories. Those were the days. Well, I have some, I just read that there's some diseased turkeys for sale in the Middle West. We could have had them with the cranberries if we had known. All right. Anyway, I wanted to mention that a little while back, some of you saw Vice President Nixon on with David Susskind, and I'm sure you all enjoyed that. And as you know, they talked for about 3.5 hours. And just to remind you a little of this show, do you remember that Susskind would say, you know, what about Red China and the UN or something like that? And Vice President Nixon would, he'd sort of preface his answers by saying, yes, my wife and I were discussing that just the other night at home, a quiet evening, and she's in the corner knitting a flag, and I was reading the Constitution, and prior to leading the children in the flag salute, remember? So I was thinking maybe if this summer, just as a tryout period in television, some more of the candidates could go on television, and that way they could reach more people, see? But I don't want them to be limited to David Susskind or Mike Wallace. I was thinking, a couple of ideas. How about Vice President Nixon and President Eisenhower on Wagon Train? And we could have some pioneer women in the first episode come up to the younger scout, Richard Nixon, and ask him why they hired the older scout, too, but he isn't there all the time, you know. And then the vice president could say, well, he's off talking to the Indians in your behalf, these flaming arrows, and so forth. And then I thought maybe Mr. Rockefeller could do it home with the Nelsons, you know. We could still use Ricky and David going out to play, and he could ask them to try and get home before the recession. Governor Stevenson as bachelor father. And he could ask his daughter if she's getting good grades, which is his prime concern, as we all know. And she could say, Dad, have you thought about steady work? And how about Leave It to Beaver with Senator Kennedy? Leave it to Eager. And, I had a good opening shot coming in, Senator Kennedy coming with a slingshot and going to the refrigerator for some milk and peanut butter and jam. Offstage voice of family. What did you do today, Jack? Well, I got a haircut and talked to some people, got along with them pretty well. Have you thought about what you want to be, Jack? Yeah, I want to be president. We know that. I mean when you grow up. Some of you are going to be voting, and there's some other candidates other than these people that I've mentioned. And as you know, if you're going to vote, you have your choice of Vice President Nixon, the man who settled the steel strike by giving both sides a raise. And after him, there's Governor Rockefeller, who is considered uncorruptible in that he can run the country as a hobby. How about promising children Little League polo? Or, now that's the Republican Party. In the Democratic Party, there's some other people. There's Governor Stevenson, and there's an argument within the party about him. It kind of takes place, usually say, Governor Stevenson in a nightclub, and a woman will jump up and say, he can win! And then her husband will pull her down and say, yeah, but he can't be nominated. And then they and then there's Stuart Symington, who's been endorsed by President Truman, and it doesn't relate to people. It's usually about missiles. And this missile will go to the Navy, and this will go to the Army, so that World War III is not between the Army and the Navy. And he is usually found in Cape Canaveral, which was termed Disneyland East earlier in the show. So right there. Then, let's see. Then after that, there's Senator Kennedy. There's Lyndon Johnson, but he might not step down and settle for the presidency because things are going very well where we are. So then there's, of course, Senator Kennedy, and that brings up the issue of faith. So you must all remember to be tolerant and judge a man on his ability, not his faith, which is our tradition. And as Senator Kennedy himself has often said, as far as he's concerned, the hereafter is taken care of, but November is driving him out of his mind. Now, one other thing I want to say. As you know, we still have this administration in power, and as you know, there's been a lot of talk about the U-2 the last couple of weeks. As you know, that started on the 1st of May when the plane was shot down, and the president reserved comment until he could assemble all the facts and weigh them and discuss it with his advisors, and then deny it. So then Khrushchev turned around and said, I'm sure the president didn't know about the flight. And the State Department said, of course he knew. And the president said, yes, I've known about all the flights. So then the plane was shot down, although it was 1,300 miles inside Russia, and we weren't sure how unless they looked down and spotted it coming in. And the president said, why are they so self-righteous? They've got a lot of spies in our country, too, which they have, and if we're lucky, they may steal some of our secrets, and then they'll be 2 years behind.
See anything? Yeah, wires. Listen, you. What? You know, I think the piano's out of tune. Come on. I think I see it. Oh! Look out. Get up out of there. Get me out of here. My face. Oh, you want to spoil my looks? Impossible. Never mind your face and get that ring. It's 6:15. Oh! Oh, I'm awful sorry. So am I.
You know, the interesting thing about that scene is that you laugh at it, even when you know perfectly well what's going to happen. Now, psychiatrists say that's because we're not laughing at what exactly is funny, but because we enjoy seeing someone getting hurt. You know, with this in mind, there's a new situation comedy on television next season about a big family. They have a series of very funny accidents. By the end of the season, everyone in the family has been hurt. Of course, the following year, the sponsor does a medical show and cures every one of them. It isn't true, of course, but in the old days, they went just about that far to get a laugh. And it's funny how today things have changed a lot. We don't just act ridiculous for the sake of getting a laugh. We like to get away these days from slapstick humor. And I'd like to discuss with you right now that very subject, the development of comedy in this country. And I'm very happy to report to you that comedy has reached a level of sophistication of which I think we can all be proud. We no longer laugh at, say, what our grandparents laughed at, loud humor or slapstick humor. And by that, I mean humor that is based on cruelty and on physical pain. Most people... Most people today feel that there's nothing really funny about other people being in pain. Now, I suppose back in ancient times when it... I suppose back in ancient times that most primitive man might have laughed at another human being in some kind of real and actual physical pain. Nowadays, of course, modern people, intelligent people, don't fall for that kind of humor. The modern-day comedian gets his laughs, I think, by using his intellect. And he doesn't stoop to that, what is a really lower kind of physical pain comedy. Actually, only the infantile mind today, the childlike mind, would laugh at someone who was in serious pain and possibly suffering from blood poisoning. As I say, an infantile, a childlike mind would laugh at that, but you wouldn't, and I would. Oh, boy. Today, modern comedians come out in front of an audience and talk. Seriously to them. But they come out and they bring a stool or a chair, and their wit is what comes to. I think Sigmund Freud said it first. He's the one who discovered it, I'm sure, that laughing at a person in pain is actually a manifestation of a deep-seated hostility. Professor Freud, for instance. Oh, I'm sorry, Philip. Get him out of here. Oh, thank goodness we have reached a point in our civilization where we no longer laugh at people hurt or destroying themselves. And I'm very happy to say that today I think you'd have to look all over the world to find someone who'd laugh at a man who fell down and hurt himself. Thank you very much.
In 1945, Bing Crosby, as we know him, went on a camping trip just outside of Hollywood, and his car broke down outside a strange-looking castle in Transylvania. You've been there, Maury. And he walked up through the mist, up to this huge castle, and he rapped on the door. And the door creaked open on its rusty hinges. And that's just the screen door. Wait till we get to the main... revealing a strange-looking gentleman. My name is Boris Karloff. Who are you? Well, my name is Bing Crosby, and I just had an accident, just down the road down here, and I just wondered if I could use your telephone there, Pops, for a second, huh? Oh, yes, Mr. Crosby. Do come in and meet my assistant. They walked through a corridor to a huge subterranean laboratory where two men were standing. One of them spoke. My name is Vincent Price, and My name is Vincent Price, and I'm ever so spooky, and I'll frighten you to death. I really will boo. Well, my name is Peter Lorient, and I'm a mad doctor, too. As a matter of fact, we're all mad doctors. No. Hold on here a second. I believe you're a mad doctor, but I don't believe the little one's a mad doctor. You don't? Would you believe an angry intern? A frustrated medical student? Spiro Agnew with the hangover? I don't know who I am.
My name is Bela Lugosi. I have nothing to do with this skit at all, except that Boris loves the way I say Benzedrine tablets in your bloodstream.
Knock it off. We're doing a skit, you idiot. Yes, you dog.
I'm sorry.
Now, Mr. Crosby, we're going to turn you into a monster. Well, Bing tried to escape, but the doors were barred. Then the doctors prepared a steaming potion, and they forced Bing Crosby to drink the stuff. Ooh, I suppose there's no way out. I suppose I might as well drink this stuff and be done with it. What the heck, couple of clowns here. Whew. Oh, well, if I got nothing to lose, might as well drink it. Did you enjoy it? Enjoy that mad dog? Ladies and gentlemen, that was action. Just charming. How much time we got left here? We got time to bring on the triple frogs? How much time? But those mad doctors will be back again next week. Where the blue of the night meets the gold. Well, let's really hear it for me. Let's really hear it for me. Bing Crosby.
Now, let's see. Another feature of this program, and a very important one, too, is that we read some very interesting mail from our guests, and they ask some wonderful questions, too. We have a letter here. Letter here from a Mrs. H.D. in Asbury Park, New Jersey. Let's see. The answer is no. And we also give away some wonderful prizes. We have a wonderful prize tonight for the oldest lady in our audience. We're going to give her the oldest man. After all is said and done, the thing that I get the biggest kick out of, as I say, is the mail. And we have... I get a lot of the perfume in this one. Oh, that's a... sneaky finance company. Why do they... There doesn't seem to be much going on up here, so I'll tell you what. Let's drop down into our studio audience and visit with some of the nice folks we have. Can we have some traveling music, Alan? Getting in for tickets. I just want to tell you that the quickest way to get tickets, the best way to get tickets is to go down to Pennsylvania Station and tell them where you want to go, and you'll get all sorts of tickets. Of course, if you're flying, be sure to take a plane. One other thing I do want to mention. We have a special announcement for the kiddies. When you pay attention to all the youngsters, you'll never guess who our guest star is tomorrow night. Santa Claus. That's right. We can only get these big stars during their off-season, but we do try to bring them to you. Now we'll meet some of these nice people here in the audience. We have a wonderful crowd here tonight. Here's a lady right here. Hello, what is your name?
Mabel Jenkins.
I see. And where are you from, Mabel?
Leavenworth, Kansas.
Oh? You one of the inmates at the penitentiary there?
That's right.
And how'd you happen to get here?
I escaped.
Well, you certainly came to the right place to hide out. I've been here a year. Nobody's found me yet. They're losing me tonight, as a matter of fact. Well, let's not get sickening about it, but you have a very cute sense of humor, though, Mabel. I bet you're a riot in cell block 11. Well, it's very nice to have you with us tonight, and I want to... You're telling the truth. Thanks very much, Mabel. Now let's see what other trouble we can get into over here. There's a gentleman right here who sir, I know it's one of those evenings, but here. Sir, are you asleep? Usher, this man is dead. What kind of a crowd is this here we're working with? Oh, well, what do you... Yes, sir. Usher, here's another one.
What is this, dead? Is this the whole program that you do? What is the name of this program? This Was Your Life? What is this, on Ghost to Ghost Network or something? You're the MC? Yeah. Master of Cemeteries, huh? Is that what it is? You're doing a good undertaking here, a very monumental job. Funny, clever, monumental undertaking, Master of Cemeteries. Funny joke, huh?
Sure. The views expressed by this gentleman are not necessary.
That's good. I wish I'd have said that.
You will. Milton, seriously, I really must say that I think you're one of the big stars in television, and so it's a great thrill to have you with us tonight.
Well, thank you very, very much. Thank you.
I must say that because you told me I had to or you wouldn't show up and do the show. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Alan Young, and I wish your material was. This is the clam bake you do. This is the show. Do you just read a few letters and talk to these people and everything?
Yeah.
And I see you don't have the audience in the aisle, so you stand in the aisle and speak to the audience.
That's the arrangement.
Very, very clever. So what goes on? Is this the whole show?
Well, not the whole thing. I'll tell you what, Milton. Why don't you come up on the stage?
Oh,
no.
pardon me. Just a minute.
Yeah.
I brought Miss Janet Blair with me.
Hello, Miss Blair.
And
nice to see you.
Show. You mind if I go up on the stage?
No, come right up.
I actually don't.
No, come on. Would you like to see Milton take part of the show here? Come on.
Oh, no.
No, you must, Milton. Go right up there. That's fine. There you are.
Well, so this is the stage, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
This is the whole show, huh?
Very simple.
Where's the scenery? Where's the chorus? Where's the girls? The girls?
What do I need girls for?
Oh, yeah?
What do I need girls for?
I want to talk to you. Have you read any good calendars lately? You must have a calendar with a picture of the Rock of Gibraltar on it, huh?
Oh, since you bring it up, Milton, as a matter of fact, I have a very interesting calendar at home. It's one of these things. You know what I mean with them?
Ooh.
You know?
Well, what is it?
That's a seal balancing a medicine ball.
Oh, that's a circus. That's a circus. So, Steve, what do you do after you read the letters and everything? Anything else? Listen, I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
Do you do anything? I mean, don't you go out and go to nightclubs?
After the show, no.
You drink? You don't play cards?
Mm-mm.
You don't go out with girls?
No.
Usher, this man is dead.
Hello, quiz fans. How are you out there? Tell us your plan. Yes, sir. Hello there. Yes, sirree. We're all ready to play that fabulous new game. Is everybody in the audience ready to play Take It or Nothing? That's the spirit we like to see here on the program. And now we're all ready to go. But before we meet our first contestants on tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you about the secret word. If any one of our contestants says the secret word tonight, he or she will win $100 cash. And the secret word tonight is prognostication. And now, let's meet our first couple. Would you come right in, please? How about a nice hand? Nice hand. Fun tonight on Take It or Nothing, aren't we? How do you do, sir?
How do you do?
You've been selected at random from the studio audience to play our game tonight.
Well, I had a kind of a prognostication I might be on your show, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word has been changed to contingency.
All right, now let's get on with the game. Sir, I hope you're all ready to win some of these big prizes tonight.
Well, I always hold myself in readiness for any contingency.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word has been changed to tranquility.
Fine. How about you, miss? Are you having a lot of fun tonight?
Well, I'm not exactly in a state of tranquility.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will be no secret word tonight.
All right, now we're ready to play Take It or Nothing. But first, let's find out something about our contestants here. I see by my notes you are Miss Gertrude Pumpkin. Is that right? Now, let's speak right up. I mean, people are watching out here. This great audience wants to hear what you say. You know, we're all having fun here. Don't be nervous. This is, big quiz show. All righty now. Where do you live?
I live in San Diego.
No, speak right up. All these people are watching. If your relatives, just one big happy family. Now, where do you live, Miss Pumpkin?
I live in San Diego.
We can hear you, Miss Pumpkin. We can hear you all right. All right, now, fine. What do you do for a living?
I'm a housewife.
You're a housewife. Fine. And now we're about to have a good time here, and I want you to meet this gentleman here.
Thank you.
And what is your name, sir?
Jack Bailey.
Jack Bailey.
Yes, sir.
And where do you live, Mr. Bailey?
I'm a native Californian.
A native Californian.
Yes, sir.
Well, that means that you must have lived here for at least 2 years then, huh? All righty. Now let's get on and meet Mr. Bailey. Mr. Bailey, here we are, sir. All right. Now, what is your line of work, Mr. Bailey?
Well, I'm a writer.
You're a writer. How about that? Yes, sir, we certainly have fun here on Take It or Nothing. Just a million laughs every minute, right? Don't be nervous. Let's just have fun. And what have you written, Mr. Bailey?
Well, I wrote a cookbook.
Wrote a cookbook. How about that? That's wonderful, Mr. Bailey. And what do you call your book?
I call it What's Cooking.
Call it What Cookie?
Yes.
That is wonderful. Well, fine. I want to wish you good luck on your book, Mr. Bailey.
It only sells for $1.
Well, that's fine. Now, here's the way we play our big game.
I brought a copy along with me here for you to look at.
Well, you certainly did, didn't you, Mr. Bailey?
I did.
Well, that's fine. What's cooking? Now, this is the way we play the big game, friends.
They
You
make an awful nice Christmas present.
I'll bet they do, Mr. Bailey. All righty. And now we're ready to play our game. Having lots of fun here? You bet you we are. All righty. Now, here's the way we play the game. I'm going to ask you each a question. And the first one who answers the question will win the money. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, the one who answers the big question at the end of the show will be our big winner tonight. You all set the goal. Don't be nervous. We're having a lot of fun here, aren't we? Are we having fun, audience? You bet we're having fun. You bet we are. All righty, here we go. You have 10 seconds. No coaching from the audience, please. Let the contestant answer the question. You have a 10-second time limit. The first one to answer wins the prize.
Yes.
Ready? All right, here we go. Who was the man?
Napoleon?
Let's wait till we ask the question, Mr. Bailey. You're a little nervous up here, but we're all having fun, aren't we?
Yes.
Right, you bet.
The book only sells for $1.
I know, and I know. All right. Here is the question. Who was the man who said, "Don't give up the ship"?
Wait a minute. John Paul Joe.
John Paul Jones. Right. I'm sorry, Mr. Bailey got it out just a little bit ahead of you, Miss Frumpkin. But that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Now, that puts Mr. Bailey out in front with $10. But for you, Miss Frumpkin, we have this beautiful consolation prize. There's a gorgeous pair of seersucker wedgies. Right. That's something I know you're going to treasure for years. Now, here's our next question. You having fun, Mr. Bailey?
The book only sells for $1
a copy, I know. All right. Here we go.
Yes.
Here's the question.
Yep.
In the story, Jack and the Beanstalk, what animal does Jack sell for a handful of beans?
Oh.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. Don't be nervous.
I know. A panda.
No, it's not a panda. I'm so sorry. But the answer is a cow.
A cow! I knew it was a cow!
I'm sorry, Miss Frumpkin, but Mr. Bailey still leads.
Yeah.
But to each of you, as a consolation on this particular question, we have this wonderful prize. Here's something you'll treasure for years to come. You'll receive a whole year's supply, and you can use them indefinitely.
That's nice.
Well, I know you're going to treasure those for years. All right. Now, let's go on with the next question. Are y'all having fun? You betcha. Y'all having fun, audience? You bet you're having fun. Don't be nervous now. Let's all settle down because we want to make you feel at home.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go now. On with the game. Who? Pay attention now. No coaching, please, from the audience.
Yeah.
Who was the first white man to see the Pacific Ocean?
Georgie Jessel?
No, it wasn't Georgie Jessel. Your turn.
Magellan.
No.
Columbus.
No. Try DeSoto.
DeSoto.
No, I'm sorry, it was Balboa. I hope I didn't misinform you there, but we're sorry. We're ready for the big question.
Yeah.
This is the big question. Are you having fun, audience? You bet you're having fun. That's what we like to see here on Take It or Nothing. Everybody having fun. You feel at home?
Yes,
Don't be a bit nervous. Just speak right up so everybody can hear you. Okay, here we go. Here's the big question. Listen closely. I can repeat this question one time, and one time only. One time. Ready? Now don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. One time. One time. Here we go. From what opera? Please. No coaching, please. Are you having a good time, audience? You bet you were having fun. All righty. Here we go. Only one. From what opera does this selection come? Music.
Could I hear it just once again?
Yes. Again, please. From what opera does that come?
That comes from La Boheme.
La Boheme, that's right. La Boheme. Well, there's only a 10-second. There was only a 10-second. That's all right. That's right. Well, somebody has to lose and somebody has to win, but that makes you the winner, Mr. Bailey.
Yeah, but I feel so sorry for that little girl there.
Oh, then you wish her to be declared the winner?
No.
Oh, no, I see. All right. Now, Mr. Bailey, as our winner tonight, listen to these magnificent gifts you received.
Good.
First, a beautiful pair of hammered aluminum shower clogs. for you. Now, good. Also, you receive a life-size picture of Buster Crabbe that glows in the dark. Yes, for you, Miss Bailey. And next, a whole year's supply of marinated ping-pong balls for every member of your family. And now for a wonderful prize, Mr. Bailey, that you're going to treasure for years.
Yeah?
A beautiful deep fat fryer that fries deep fat to a golden brown. If you like fried fat, you'll like a Wilson deep fat fryer. And now comes the big moment, Mr. Bailey, that you've been waiting for as the big winner tonight. Come right over here, ascend the royal throne. We have the royal crown for you and the robe. Fine, and now the big moment. I crown you Snook for a day.
Like there were kids that 8 and 9 years old that were sniffing airplane glue to get high on, you know, and so I had sort of a fantasy how it happened. The kid is alone in his room, and it's Saturday. The child is played by George McCready. Well, let's see now. I'm all alone in the room, and it's Saturday. Mother's away, and what'll I do that's good and hostile? Well, let's see. I'll make an airplane. That's good. I'll make a Lancaster. Good structural design. I'll get the ball to it. I'll sand it here. I'll cut that off. I'll get the struts now. Now I'll get a little airplane glue. I'll rub it on the rag and, Hey, now, it's another plane here. I'm getting loaded. Is this possible, loaded on airplane glue? Maybe it's just stuffy in here. I'll call my dog over. Flicker. Flicker, come here, darling, and smell this rat. Smell it, you freaky little doggy. Smell that rat, Flicker. Flicker! It worked. I'm the Louis Pasteur of junkiedom. I'm out of my skull for tinner. Well, there's much work to be done now. Horses' hooves to melt down. Noses to get ready. Cut to the toy store. Any toy store. Any hobby shop. Might be your kid who walked in that day. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Hello, Mrs. Schindler. Nice store you got here. Give me a nickel's worth of pencils and a big boy tablet and some erasers and 2,000 tubes of airplane glue.
In 1492, Columbus did one of the most daring things yet known to man. He borrowed money from a woman. Bought 3 ships and sailed in search of a new route to India. But what about the return trip? On the way over to America, the men didn't know what they were facing. Some of them knew they were facing west, of course, but they were a little frightened. Now, on the trip back to Spain, they were a lot more relaxed. They had found the New World. I imagine discipline was a difficulty on the way back. I would like to have heard a little pep talk from the chief petty officer on the Santa Maria. Okay, men, pay attention. Fall in. No, not in the water, Spencer. Over here. You guys with the peg legs, stand up straight. Guys with the eye patches, look this way. You with the earrings, out of line. We're still trying to get back to Spain before the Nina and the Pinter. So shape up because you can't ship out. Keep them pirates quiet and get in formation. You 16 men want to get off the dead man's chest, please? I got you, yo-ho-ho. I'll warn you in advance, the captain's not in a good mood, so knock off the tomfoolery. Knock off the tomfoolery. Come on, you guys fooling with Tom, will you knock it off? Now, we've been at sea only 22 days, and already Crazy Chris, Captain Columbus, and I have noticed a certain lack of cooperation. I think this morning's mutiny was a good example. Not that it was any different from yesterday's mutiny, but today's the captain's birthday, and he's a little upset. That's why he called off the Columbus Day dance. You guys who got cleaned up for the dance, you'll just have to live with it. That's all there is. Now, we've been having some complaints and trying to figure out what's been causing this epidemic of beriberi on board. One guy said it's just going around. Another guy said Ponce de Leon planted germs on the ship. Seaman Lorenzo thought it was a vitamin C deficiency. You'll be glad to know we shot Seaman Lorenzo early this morning. However, because of the shortage of food and supplies, we're faced with three choices. Either we can sleep a lot more, knock off the 5 o'clock buffet, or we can attack an unarmed ship. We've decided to attack an unarmed ship. Because of the urgency of the emergency, we've chosen the Pinter. So I think it behooves us all to brush up a little bit on our notes on plundering. First of all, make sure the guns are pointing out. Next guy that sends a captain's dining room around the side with a cannonball is in a lot of trouble. Also, when you're going over the side, make sure the other boat is close enough. You're losing a lot of men through impatience. As I always like to say, look before you leap. And one other thing, on the sword fights, make sure you're fighting with a guy from the other ship. I got a couple other notes. First of all, today's schedule for you. This morning, we got the big fishing tournament. As you know, last week, Seaman Lorenzo won with a 48-pound tuna, which he ate rather quickly. After that, we'll have mail call. That shouldn't take too long. Right after mail call, we'll have sword practice, followed immediately by sick call. Usually after sick call, we hold the floggings. However, today the floggings have been canceled. Someone ate the whip. And we got the swimming tournament this afternoon, a big swimming meet. Some of the teams are a little short of men because of the fierce competition from the Sharks. I think you men with the peg legs will bear me out on that one. And we'll wind up the day with an eating contest. First one to find something to eat wins.
Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lucky Strike program. You know, really, you'll have to excuse me for laughing, but I just spent the most wonderful half hour I've ever spent in my life. I was listening to my own radio show. And I don't know, I was so comical, you know. I said so many funny things. Oh, I know what you're thinking, you know, but I really believe that a man should be honest with himself. If there's anything I hate, is when a comedian is great and won't admit it. I've never met one like that, but if I did, I'd hate it. And one thing about me, ladies, I'm honest. I really am. You know, if any other comedian has a bad show, I'm the first one to admit it. I talk about it all the time. But I have my faults. You know, I'm not perfect or anything. I'm too easygoing and I'm not overly ambitious. But then after all, I don't want to be the richest man in the world, you know. America is big enough for me. But, you know, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, you know, I announced 3 weeks ago that tonight Mary Livingston was going to be on my show, you see. But unfortunately, we had to postpone it because there was a big mix-up and everything. You see, when the producer asked Mary to be on my show, I told Mary to ask for a lot of money, you see. You know, I forgot that I was paying for it. So, instead of Mary, tonight we have Humphrey Bogart as our guest star. And, really, I'm getting him fairly reasonably. You know how tough he is on the screen? You know what a tough guy knows nothing about business. nothing at all. Well, anyway, this show that I'm going to do...
Jack.
What is it, Bob?
Jack, I want to talk to you a minute.
What is it?
Well, I just heard that you talked with the producer, and there's a possibility of my song being out of this show.
Yeah, well, look, Bob, the reason for that is, see, this show is very, very long, you see, and we had to make up our minds whether we take out your song or my jokes, you see, and then we thought we would do what was best for the show.
Oh, well, then my song is in.
No, Bob, we felt that it would be much more important, you see, to leave in my jokes.
You mean your jokes are more important than my song?
Yes. My jokes stay in and your song goes out.
Well, that's like keeping the smog and throwing away Los Angeles.
Well, keeping the smog and throwing away Los Angeles.
Pretty clever line, isn't it?
Yes.
What's in my next TV show? I'm on TV 5 times a week.
I thought you were tired. Let's see that. Now look at Bob. Your song is out, and that settles it. You see, I'm running this show. I'm the boss. It's my show, and I'm running it, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent.
Well, that's what the critics said about your last show.
What?
Said Bob was good, Jack was bad, and the audience was indifferent.
Look, Bob, go and get ready for the play, will you?
All right.
You know, I can't understand. He's the toughest guy to get along with. You know, he's only been with me a short time, you know. And the only reason I hired him at all was because I wanted him to introduce me to his brother Bing. Then I found out he didn't even know him.
I started out as a child. I was a very wicked child. Had a praying mantis that I converted to an agnostic. I gave my mother a topless bathing suit. She didn't like it. She sewed up the legs and made a clothespin bag out of it. After I graduated high school, I entered college because the dropouts already had the jobs. I got out of college, I entered Greenwich Village. Of course, the college graduates already had the job. Then, I went out and I studied people, and I found out that they're weird, and nothing excites them. Nothing. And to prove this, I bought a rhinoceros. Put him in my living room. Dug a hole for him and everything. Had little rhinoceros food around there for him. And sure enough, when people would walk through the house, it wouldn't excite him. Guy'd come in, he'd say, "Oh my, you have a rhinoceros, huh?" We used to have a rinoceros. Drunks love it. I really like to take my rhinoceros out for a walk. Drunk will look at the rhinoceros. Oh, boy, you got a funny-looking dog there. Does he bite? No, but he'll ram the heck out of you. Well, I tell you, after that, I went back and I thought of myself as a comedian, and I remember as a kid, I used to love horror pictures. The Frankenstein, Wolfman, the Mummy. The Mummy and Frankenstein were my two favorites. They would scare me to death. Wow. But now that I look at them as a grown-up, I said, gee whiz, anybody they catch really deserves to die. Because they are, without a doubt, the two slowest monsters in the world. Anybody they catch deserves to go. Of course, Wolfman, I kind of feel sorry for him. Here's a guy, heck of a nice guy. He's walking around, doesn't know when the moon's coming up on him. He's sitting around a table eating dinner, and the moon comes up. A guy like that's got to be embarrassing to his family. Well, that's all, Pop. Were you going out in the yard for crying out loud? And how about if he's getting a haircut, right? And the barber's giving him the... And the moon comes up. But, sir, it's going to cost you an extra $9. You know that. Well, make it light around the legs, will you, please?